The 10th of October is World Mental Health Day. And I think it's a really good time to kind of just reflect on how not only we support each other and our communities, but also how we support ourselves, especially during the winter months and with the different stresses that are coming in around sort of energy costs, food costs, rising prices, and also that sort of lingering fear and impact of COVID as well that has impacted so many of us over the last few years. So today I've just got a few tips to kind of hopefully help get you through the winter months, but also just to take a little bit of time to think about your own mental health and how you look after yourself. So my first tip would be get outside as much as you can. I know this isn't easy for everyone. You might not have a garden, you might have mobility issues that make it difficult for you to get outside and walk. But either way, just getting outside in the sunshine, whether that's sitting next to a window on a balcony, just taking time to embrace nature, just get the sun on your face, take in some deep breaths of air, and yeah, just experience being outside, especially if you're working from home. I know how easy it is to just sit there and not move all day. So it's a really good skill to learn to kind of get out and just enjoy the outside. And anyone that knows me knows I'm obsessed with birds. So that would be my go-to every time. Um, and the next one would be just move. So even if it's just moving around your house, having regular breaks in what you're doing, that can be so important. Just getting your body moving. I think 20 minutes of exercise can make a huge difference in your day. It can boost blood flow to your brain and it increases your happy hormones, which are your endorphins. So just 20 minutes of just moving around can be really beneficial. And you can do that by walking, listening to a podcast. There's loads of fantastic podcasts, not just around mental health, but just different things that you can use to kind of distract yourself or build on your knowledge throughout the day. So I definitely recommend something like that. My next tip would be call a friend or get out with a friend, or just talk to someone that you trust and feel comfortable talking to. And maybe that's not a friend, maybe that's another professional, maybe that's picking up the phone and calling the Samaritans if you're having a particularly tough day. There's lots of different ways to access support, in particular if you don't feel that you can speak to friends. But just I think just having that shared experience or being able to kind of let out some of the feelings that are building up, it's so important. I think that's why our services are so important because we provide that for others. But I think when we work in services like this, we can quite often forget that we need that outlet too. So, get together with your teams, perhaps. Use your team meetings to check in. Really check in about how you're doing. But just talking to others can be a really good skill. I'm always getting teased because I'm always talking to people on tills and things like that. But it's just, I think, that one little bit of contact can make a big difference for someone. So, yeah, big on talking. Um, and eat well, which I think is an interesting one because I know a lot of us will perhaps be struggling with finances over the winter. The cost of living's gone up, the energy crisis, but trying to eat as well as you can. I think having lots of green on your plate can be really important, but just eating little and often if you can. Some people prefer to have a big meal, some people prefer to graze, but just trying to eat well, and also knowing that there are resources like your local food banks. It's just awful having to say that, but that's there if you need it. So if you're struggling, speak to your friends, speak to your family, speak to your work colleagues, speak to your manager. But it's really important that we're looking after ourselves at this point, especially during the winter. And there are lots of things that are out of our control, but hopefully we can kind of support each other to get through this. And I think as well, just I always come back to this, but being kind to yourself. You can't do everything, you can't be everything to everyone, but just being kind to yourself and not feeling that you have to be perfect or that you have to, smash it first time. I think we can set really high standards for ourselves. I know I do. You have no idea how many times I've tried to do this video and I've deleted it and gone, but just being kind to yourself. I think it's really important to do that. So that would be my brief, highly energetic video on how to kind of support yourselves during the winter. But hopefully it will start a bit of a conversation around World Mental Health Day, and that's all we need to do really, is just keep talking. So yeah, all right, thank you for listening. Bye.